Now the next topic for the interconversion of states of matter, that is effect of change of pressure. We have discussed effect of change of temperature in the previous lecture. Now effect of change of pressure. The effect of pressure on the states of matter can be discussed by the following experiment. We have to take a cylinder here. This is called piston. This is piston. In first case, we have taken three cylinders. In the first case, we have placed gaseous substance. Then the air, we have taken the piston, and now we are compressing this piston. We are applying force on the piston. In the case of liquid, we have taken here, and we are again applying force on this one. Here we have taken solid, and again we are applying force on the piston. What we observe here? We observe that gases can be compressed at very high range, can be compressed to very low volume. Liquids, very slightly they are being compressed. Solids, almost negligible. They are not compressed, we can say. This is the effect of change of pressure. By applying pressure, we can convert this one into liquid. Now, related to this liquefaction of gases, how gases can be liquefied. A gas can be liquefied by applying pressure or by lowering temperature. By applying pressure or by lowering temperature. For every gas, there is a minimum temperature above which gas cannot be liquefied. Applying pressure. By applying pressure, this temperature is called critical temperature. This is called critical temperature here. Getting this one? Once again I am repeating this point. For every gas, I am saying there is a minimum temperature above which gas cannot be liquefied by applying pressure. There is a certain temperature above which we cannot liquefy the gases. This temperature is called critical temperature. Under very high pressure, the forces of attraction become so strong that the liquid may change into the solid state also. Liquid may change into solid state also. Clear? For example, carbon dioxide gas can be liquefied easily either by applying pressure or by cooling, that is reducing temperature. However, carbon dioxide is cooled under high pressure. Carbon dioxide is cooled under high pressure. It directly converts into solid carbon dioxide called dry ice. Very important, dry ice. What is dry ice? Solid carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. Solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice because unlike normal ice, dry ice does not wet the surface, on which it is kept or melt. Getting this one? Means solid ice, if you are leaving that one, normal ice, what happens? You leave on the surface, what will happen? It will wet the surface. But in the case of solid carbon dioxide, if you are leaving it here, it will not wet the surface, it will convert into gaseous state directly. Dry ice is extremely cold and it is used to deep freeze and to keep ice cream cold. It is used as refrigerant. Getting this one? Now we move on to the next topic, that is scales of measuring temperature. This you have already discussed in junior classes. Also, there are three scales on which the temperature of a system can be measured. That is Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale, and Kelvin scale. The Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale are related to each other as C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 upon 9. F for Fahrenheit scale, C for Celsius scale. The Celsius and Kelvin scales are related to each other as Celsius and Kelvin scale. Here Celsius and Fahrenheit scale. Now Celsius and Kelvin. Temperature in Kelvin, temperature in degrees Celsius, plus 273. That is, we may write like this also here. Capital T stands for Kelvin scale and small t stands for degrees Celsius. For example, we have to convert 98.6 degree Fahrenheit into Celsius scale. This is a normal body temperature. C by 5 F. What we have to Fahrenheit scale to Celsius scale. So we have to choose the relation in which Fahrenheit and Celsius scales are there. So C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 upon 9. So here we are placing the value of 98.6 in the place of Fahrenheit scale. Simplifying, we get 37 degrees Celsius. Means 98.6 degree Fahrenheit temperature is 37 degrees Celsius temperature. Same way we may discuss one more example here, that is calculate the temperature at which Celsius and Fahrenheit scales are same. Very important one, this one. Celsius and Fahrenheit scale are same, means temperature, we have to calculate the temperature. So we have to suppose that temperature is X degree. We may not write here Celsius or Kelvin because we are not knowing the temp scale. Both are same at this temperature. So again we are using the formula C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. Since we have considered that both are same, means here this is equal to degrees Celsius also, this is equal to degree Fahrenheit also. So here it is C is equal to F is equal to X degree. Here placing the values, in place of C we have written X, in place of F we have written X. Now simplifying, we get that minus 40 degrees Celsius. Very important one. This minus 40 degrees Celsius is a temperature at which both Celsius and Fahrenheit scales are same. Getting this one? Fahrenheit and Celsius scales are same. Getting any confusion? Convert the following temperature into Kelvin scale. 25 degrees Celsius, 70. These are same. Very easy one. Now some questions related to this ones. What produces more severe burns, 100 degrees Celsius water or 100 degrees Celsius water vapors? 100 degrees Celsius water or 100 degrees Celsius water vapors? You know very well 100 degrees Celsius water and 100 degrees Celsius water vapor. 100 degrees Celsius water vapor contains extra heat, that is latent heat of vaporization. Due to this it has more heat and it will cause severe burns. Therefore here it is the explanation: absorbs energy equal to the latent heat of evaporation. Thus steam at 100 degrees Celsius has more heat energy than water at 100 degrees Celsius. Hence steam produces more severe burns than boiling water. Why is ice at 273 Kelvin, or we may write this is at 0 degrees Celsius, is more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? Means 0 degrees Celsius water or 0 degrees Celsius ice, which one is more effective in cooling? Again 0 degrees Celsius ice is more effective, or 273 K ice is more effective in cooling because it is not having the latent heat. Latent heat of fusion is not having. Here the latent heat of fusion from the surrounding. Thus ice at 0 degrees has less heat. Why does temperature of a substance remains constant during its melting point and boiling point? During its melting point and boiling point, the temperature of a substance remains constant at its melting point and boiling point until all the substance melts or boils. The heat supplied is continuously used up in changing the state of the substance by overcoming the force of attraction between the particles. Sorry. This heat energy absorbed without showing any rise in temperature is given in the name latent heat of fusion or latent heat of vaporization.